Welcome to the inner temple. If your body is ready for sleep, but your mind still feels quietly awake, if the room around you has fallen silent, yet your thoughts are still gently moving, this journey is for you. Perhaps you've replayed today more times than you wanted to. Perhaps tomorrow has already begun inside your mind, before tonight has even had the chance to end. Or perhaps there isn't one particular thought keeping you awake, just a quiet feeling that something inside you still believes it should remain alert, still listening, still preparing, still carrying. If that feels familiar, I want you to know something. There is nothing wrong with you. The mind has an extraordinary way of trying to protect us. It remembers, it plans, it searches for answers. It imagines every possibility, hoping that if it stays awake a little longer, tomorrow might somehow become easier. It does all of this because it cares, and after a long day, sometimes it simply forgets that the day is over. Tonight, you don't need to force your thoughts to disappear. You don't need to empty your mind. You don't even need to make yourself fall asleep. For a little while, you can simply let someone else carry the light. Take a slow, comfortable breath. Not a deep breath, not a special breath, just your own natural breathing. Notice the coolness of the air as it enters. Notice the gentle warmth as it leaves. Nothing to change, nothing to improve. Simply breathing. As your breathing settles into its own quiet rhythm, another rhythm begins to make itself known. You hear it before you see it. The sea. A wave rises, reaches the shore, then quietly slips back into the darkness. Another follows, then another. Patient, unhurried, unconcerned with where the last wave has gone, or where the next one will be. Simply arriving and returning. For longer than any of us can imagine, the sea has breathed exactly like this. Through calm evenings, through winter storms, through moonlit nights, through mornings no one was awake to see. It has never forgotten its rhythm. Perhaps for this little while, you don't have to remember yours either. Simply listen. The waves continue, arriving, returning. Arriving, returning. Without asking anything of you, imagine now that you're standing upon a quiet path overlooking the ocean. Night has almost settled across the coastline. The last traces of daylight have faded into deep blues, soft silvers, and gentle shadows. A cool breeze carries the clean scent of salt across the cliffs. It brushes lightly against your face, before disappearing quietly into the night. Far below, the sea continues its endless conversation with the shore. Steady, faithful, timeless. Somewhere beyond the horizon, a distant roll of thunder drifts slowly across the water. Low, gentle, never startling. It doesn't disturb the silence. It somehow makes the silence feel deeper. You stand for a while, doing nothing at all. Listening, breathing, allowing the day to become just a little further away. The waves below, the breeze around you, the quiet rhythm of your own breathing. Nothing asks anything of you now. And then, Through a thin veil of drifting sea mist, you notice something. Far away, a single warm light. For a moment, it disappears. Then, slowly, it returns. A gentle golden sweep across the dark sea, then darkness, then light again. Steady, patient, certain. You watch for another quiet moment. The light appears, then disappears, then returns once more. Always at the same gentle pace, never hurried, never uncertain, only quietly faithful to its purpose. As the mist slowly parts, you see it clearly. A lighthouse, standing alone upon the edge of the cliffs. Its great lantern turns silently above the sea. It does not search, it does not strive. It simply shines. Night after night, storm after storm. As though it has all the time in the world. And somehow, without quite knowing why, you feel your shoulders soften. Not because anything has changed, but because something inside you recognizes that quiet certainty. The lighthouse asks nothing of you. It does not ask you to hurry. It does not ask you to stop thinking. It does not ask you to become peaceful before you arrive. It simply continues to keep its light burning, patiently, faithfully, waiting. And a quiet thought arrives, almost as gently as the tide itself. Perhaps the light was never searching for the sea. Perhaps it has always been there, for anyone who needed to find their way home. Tonight, the light was left on for you. Take one slow breath. Listen to the sea once more. There is nowhere to rush. The lighthouse has been waiting for a very long time. It will still be waiting when you are ready. And when you are, we'll begin walking together, one quiet step at a time. For a little while, you remain exactly where you are. The lighthouse continues turning quietly in the distance. Its gentle light appears, then slips once more behind the darkness. Always returning, always patient. There is no need to hurry towards it. Some places become more meaningful when we arrive slowly. When you feel ready, you take your first step. The path beneath your feet is firm beneath the soles of your shoes. Weathered stone, smoothed by many years of sea air, wind, and gentle footsteps. It feels reassuring, steady, as though countless people have walked this same path before you. The sea continues breathing below. A wave rises, reaches the shore, and returns again. Nothing about it feels rushed. Another follows, just as patiently. The cool breeze brushes softly against your face. Cool, fresh, carrying the familiar scent of salt and rain. You notice how clean the air feels tonight. Every breath seems to clear a little more of the day away. You continue walking, not quickly, not slowly, simply at the pace your body naturally chooses. There is no destination to reach before morning, no clock to watch. No one waiting for you. Only the quiet company of the sea. The lighthouse turns again. Its warm light sweeps gently across the water. For one brief moment, the surface of the ocean glows silver and gold. Then darkness returns. Not empty darkness, comfortable darkness. The kind that allows the stars to shine. The kind that lets the mind become quieter. Far below, the waves continue meeting the cliffs. Sometimes gently, sometimes with a deeper sigh. Each one different, yet every one belonging to the same sea. You pause for a moment, resting one hand upon the smooth wooden fence that follows the edge of the path. Its timber feels cool beneath your fingertips. You listen. Nothing asks for your attention. Not the waves, not the breeze, not even your thoughts. They seem further away now. Not because you've pushed them aside, simply because something quieter has become more interesting. The rhythm of the sea. Another breath, another wave, another quiet sweep of light across the water. You continue walking. The path begins to curve gently downwards. Wild grasses move softly in the breeze. Their silvery heads catch the moonlight before bowing once more with the wind. Small white flowers grow between the rocks, tiny, almost unnoticed, yet perfectly content to bloom here above the sea. You smile gently. The world has continued beautifully without asking anyone to control it. The thought arrives so quickly that it barely feels like thinking at all. Perhaps tonight you can simply belong here too. Just another quiet part of this peaceful coastline. Nothing more is needed. The lighthouse grows a little bigger now, its weathered stone walls becoming clearer through the drifting mist. You can see the great lantern turning slowly high above, never stopping, never hurrying. Only quietly doing what it has always done, keeping its light burning. The path becomes softer beneath your feet now. The stone gives way to well-worn earth, still firm, still easy to walk upon. The scent of rain lingers in the ground, mixed with the clean fragrance of pine carried gently from somewhere inland. You breathe deeply. The air feels wonderfully fresh, as though every breath leaves a little more space inside you. Another gentle roll of thunder drifts across the horizon, even softer than before, so distant now that it almost blends with the sea itself. You realise you haven't had a thought about the day for a little while, not because you tried to stop thinking, you simply forgot to carry it. The sea has been carrying your attention instead, wave after wave, breath after breath. Without effort, without asking anything in return. The lighthouse stands just ahead now. Its warm light spills gently through tall windows near the top of the tower. You can make out the old stone walls, their edges softened by many years of rain, wind and salt. Nothing about the lighthouse feels grand. Nothing feels impressive. It simply feels dependable. The kind of place that has quietly welcomed tired travellers for generations. You find yourself slowing naturally, not because you're tired, but because something inside you doesn't want to disturb the peace that already lives here. The old wooden door comes gently into view. A soft amber glow rests beneath it, spilling onto the rain-darkened stone. You are just a few steps away. The waves continue below. The breeze brushes gently around you. The lighthouse keeps its patient rhythm. You take one slow breath. There is nowhere else you need to be. And somehow, before you've even stepped inside, you already begin to feel as though you've come home. For a few quiet moments, you simply stand before the old wooden door. The lighthouse rises silently above you. Its lantern continues its slow turning high overhead. Warm light sweeps across the sea, then quietly disappears once more into the darkness. You listen. The waves continue below the cliffs. The breeze carries the scent of rain and salt around the tower. Far beyond the horizon, another distant murmur of thunder rolls softly across the night sky. Everything feels wonderfully unhurried. The lighthouse has nowhere else to be. Neither do you. You reach out your hand. Your fingers rest gently upon the old iron handle. It is cool beneath your fingertips, smooth, worn by countless hands before yours. Hands that may have arrived carrying heavy thoughts of their own. Hands that perhaps left a little lighter. You smile quietly. There is something comforting about that. You slowly press the handle down. The latch releases without effort. The door opens almost silently, not because someone has opened it, but because it has never needed to keep anyone out. Warmth greets you first, gentle and unhurried. The kind of warmth that reaches your shoulders before you even notice it. You take one slow step inside. The air feels different here. Still carrying the fresh scent of the sea, but now mixed with the polished wood. Aged cedar, warm stone, and the faint fragrance of a fire that's been quietly burning for many peaceful hours. Behind you, the waves continue. The rain continues. Nothing outside has changed. And yet, everything feels different. The thick stone walls soften every sound. The sea no longer echoes, it simply breathes. The rain becomes a gentle whisper upon the windows. Even the wind seems to lower its voice, as though the lighthouse itself protects every quiet moment that lives within these walls. You allow your eyes to wander slowly around the room. Lanterns glow softly from the curved stone walls. The amber light dances gently across polished timber floors. Old wooden shelves hold weathered books whose pages have yellowed with time. A kettle rests upon a cast iron stove. Thin ribbons of steam curl lazily into the warm air. A fire crackles quietly inside a wide stone hearth. Its gentle warmth fills every corner of the room. Nothing here feels arranged for display. Everything feels lived in, loved, cared for. As though this lighthouse has quietly welcomed weary travellers for generations. You notice an old wooden chair beside the fire. A thick wool blanket rests across its back. A pair of well-worn boots stand neatly beside it. No one is here, yet somehow the room never feels empty, only peaceful. You slowly remove your coat. tiny droplets of rain falling softly onto the wooden floor. You hang it up upon a simple brass hook beside the door. A small movement, an ordinary movement. Yet it feels as though something else has been quietly laid down beside it. Something much heavier than the coat itself. You breathe again, deeply this time, without meaning to. Your body has recognized something, before your mind has found the words. It feels safe here. The fire gives another gentle crackle. Its light flickers across the stone walls. The lantern above continues its patient turning. Every few moments, its warm beam slips through the ceiling above, moving quietly across the room before disappearing once more. Light, then shadow. Light, then shadow. Faithful, unchanging. There are no clocks here, no hurried footsteps, no voices from another room. No feeling that you should already be somewhere else. Only warmth, only stillness, only the quiet rhythm of a place that has nothing to prove. You find yourself standing completely still, listening. The fire, the waves beyond the walls, the soft rain upon the windows, the distant turning of the lantern high above. Without trying, your breathing begins to match them all. Slow, easy, natural. You realize you haven't looked at the horizon for several minutes now. You haven't wondered what tomorrow will bring. You haven't replayed today. The world outside has quietly faded. Not because you've escaped it, but because for this little while, it no longer needs anything from you. You let your fingertips brush lightly across the smooth wooden table as you walk. The grain beneath your hand feels warm, real, grounding. Simple things seem strangely beautiful here. The glow of the fire, the scent of cedar, the sound of the sea, the quiet turning of the light above. Nothing extraordinary. Yet somehow, nothing feels missing. Your eyes slowly lift towards the centre of the room. There, rising gently through the heart of the lighthouse, stands an old spiral staircase. Its polished wooden steps curve upwards, disappearing into a warm golden glow. You look at it quietly, not with curiosity, not with expectation, only with the quiet feeling that there is one more peaceful place waiting for you. At this time, there is no need to hurry there either. For a little while, you simply stand at the foot of the staircase. The lighthouse is wonderfully still. The fire continues its gentle conversation with the wood. The waves breathe quietly beyond the thick stone walls. Somewhere high above, the great lantern turns with the same slow certainty it has known for years beyond counting. Light, shadow, light, shadow. The rhythm seems to reach every corner of the lighthouse, almost like breathing. You place your hand upon the polished wooden rail. It feels smooth beneath your fingertips. Warm now, not from the fire, but from time, from years of quiet hands resting here, just as yours does now. Without thinking, you take your first step. The old timber answers with the faintest creak. Not loud, not unexpected. Only the gentle voice of old wood settling beneath your weight. You wait for a moment, then another step. Nothing asks you to climb more quickly. Nothing waits impatiently above. The staircase is in no hurry. Neither are you. You climb slowly. The lantern continues turning. The sea continues breathing. The rain continues its quiet song upon the windows. 3 gentle rhythms, each one steady, each one asking nothing from you. The staircase curves gradually around the inside of the lighthouse. The room below slowly disappears from view. The fire still glows softly beneath you. The warmth remains. Only now it feels as though the whole lighthouse surrounds you, holding you, supporting you, without effort. You pause beside a small round window. Tiny droplets of rain rest upon the glass like scattered pearls. Beyond them, the ocean stretches into darkness. Moonlight drifts across the surface of the water. A silver path appears, then fades, as another cloud passes quietly overhead. Nothing stays exactly the same, and yet nothing feels uncertain. Another breath, another step. You begin climbing once more. The wooden rail guides your hand naturally. You don't need to think about where your feet belong. They already know. Sometimes the body remembers how to trust before the mind does. The higher you climb, the quieter everything becomes. Not because the sounds disappear. The waves are still there. The rain is still falling. The lantern still turns. But they no longer compete for your attention. They simply belong, just as you do. The warm glow above grows a little brighter. Its golden light settles gently across each wooden step before you. You notice how beautiful ordinary things become when there is nothing else asking for your attention. The grain of the timber, the curve of the stone wall, the quiet dance of light moving slowly across the staircase. Simple things, patient things, things that have no desire to be anything other than they already are. You continue climbing, one step, one breath, one quiet moment. Nothing more is needed. A thought appears. You notice it. Then another wave reaches the shore far below. Without trying, your attention follows the wave instead. The thought quietly dissolves. You smile, not because you made it disappear, only because for the first time today, you didn't feel the need to follow it. The staircase turns once more. The lantern room is close now. Warm light spills gently through the opening above. You stop for one final moment. The lighthouse breathes around you. The sea breathes below you. Your own breathing joins them. 3 quiet rhythms, moving together, never hurried, never forced. And then, without searching for the words, without trying to believe them, something inside you quietly understands. You do not have to carry this night. You close your eyes. The warm wooden rail rests beneath your hand. The waves continue below. The lantern continues above. The rain whispers softly against the glass. Everything that truly matters is already being taken care of. You open your eyes once more. Only a few gentle steps remain. You climb them slowly. Not because you have finally reached somewhere special, but because you have slowly remembered what it feels like to stop carrying the weight of the world for just one night. The lantern room waits quietly above. Its warm light spills softly across the final steps. You take the last one, and without fanfare, without announcement, without anything needing to change, you arrive. The light continues turning. You pause, allowing the quiet of the lantern room to meet you. For a while, you simply stand. The room is beautifully simple. Tall windows circle the lighthouse, looking out across the endless sea. Rain traces slow silver paths down the glass. Beyond them, the ocean stretches into the darkness. The horizon has disappeared completely now. Sea, sky, mist, all gently resting together beneath the night. Above you, the great lantern turns. Its warm golden beam moves slowly around the room, across the white curved walls, across the polished wooden floor, across the old timber beams overhead. Then, quietly, it continues out across the sea. Light, shadow, light, shadow, always the same, always patient. As though the lighthouse has long since learned that peace never comes from hurrying. The room feels wonderfully warm, not the warmth of a summer afternoon, but the quiet comfort of thick stone walls, old timber, and a lantern that has been burned faithfully through countless nights. The scent of cedar lingers softly in the air. A faint trace of beeswax polish, warm linen, clean cotton. Somewhere below, the fire still crackles gently. Its sound rises through the lighthouse, mixing almost perfectly with the rhythm of the sea. Nothing feels separate here. Everything belongs. At the centre of the room, beneath the slow turning lantern, stands a simple wooden bed. Its white linen sheets have been folded neatly back. A thick wool blanket rests across the foot of the bed. A feather pillow waits quietly beneath the warm glow above. Nothing about it feels luxurious. Everything about it feels welcoming, almost as though it has been waiting, without expectation, simple trusting that one day someone who needed it would arrive. You walk towards it slowly, each footstep softer than the last. The old wooden floorboards answer with the gentlest whisper beneath your feet, not a sound that asks for attention, only another quiet reminder that this lighthouse has been standing here for a very long time. You reach the bedside. For a moment, your fingertips rest lightly upon the smooth wooden frame. The timber feels warm, solid, dependable, like the lighthouse itself. You sit down gently. The mattress settles beneath your weight, supporting you immediately, without asking anything in return. You notice your hands resting quietly upon your lap. Only now do you realize how still they have become. Earlier tonight, they carried the weight of the day. Now, they simply rest. You slowly lie back. The pillow welcomes your head. The blanket settles gently across your body. Its warmth gathers around you without ever feeling heavy. Your shoulders soften naturally into the mattress. Your jaw relaxes. The tiny muscles around your eyes begin to let go. You do not ask your body to relax. It simply recognizes that it no longer needs to remain alert. The lantern continues its slow turning overhead. Even through your closed eyelids, you notice its gentle rhythm. A soft warmth, then quiet darkness, then warmth once more, like the steady breathing of the sea. Outside, the rain becomes softer still. Only the occasional drop catches your attention now. The thunder has drifted somewhere far beyond the horizon. The waves remain, patient, faithful, endless. You notice your own breathing. Without trying, you just begin following the sea. A breath arrives, a breath returns, just like the tide. Nothing forced, nothing measured, nothing to get right. The room seems to breathe with you. The lighthouse breathes. The sea breathes. You breathe. 3 quiet rhythms moving together. There is something deeply comforting about that. You realize there is nothing left to do tonight. No conversation waiting to be finished. No decision waiting to be made. No problem asking to be solved. The night has asked nothing of you. The lighthouse has asked nothing of you. Even sleep asks nothing of you. It will arrive when it is ready. Until then, there is only this warm room, the quiet turning of the light, the gentle breathing of the sea, and the simple comfort of allowing yourself to rest exactly where you are. The lantern continues turning, the waves continue breathing, and little by little, without effort, your body begins to remember how peaceful it feels to simply let go. While the lighthouse keeps watch, you remain resting beneath the turning light. There is nowhere left to go. The journey has quietly brought you here. Now, there is only this moment. The lantern continues its slow, faithful circle above you. Its warm light drifts gently across the room, then out across the sleeping sea, before returning once more. Light, shadow, light, always returning. Outside, the waves continue meeting the shore. Never hurried, never delayed. One arrives, another returns, then another. The sea asks nothing of itself. It simply continues. The rain whispers softly against the glass, so softly now that it almost sounds like breathing. You notice your own breathing again, not because you're trying to, but because it has become so gentle, so quiet. A breath arrives, a breath leaves. Nothing more is needed. The blanket rests comfortably across your body. Its gentle weight reminds you that you no longer need to hold yourself together. The mattress supports every part of you, your shoulders, your back, your hands. Even the smallest muscles around your eyes have become wonderfully still. There is nothing left to prepare for tonight, nothing left to finish, nothing waiting for your attention. Only this quiet room, only the sea, only the turning light. Sometimes another thought appears. If it does, let it come. The sea has room for every wave. The night has room for every cloud. You have room for every thought. There is no need to push anything away. Notice it. Let it drift, just as the tide carries a shell gently back into the ocean. Without effort, without struggle. The lighthouse has stood here through nights brighter than this one, and nights far darker. It has watched calm seas. It has watched storms. It has watched the changing seasons. Yet it has never hurried. It has never become anxious. It has never wondered whether morning would come. It simply continued, keeping its light burning, one quiet turn at a time. Perhaps there is comfort in knowing that not everything depends upon you. The tide has always known when to rise. The dawn has always known when to arrive. The wind has always known where to wander. And sleep has always known how to find you, even on the nights when it seemed far away. There has never been a night when you had to carry the stars across the sky. There's never been a night when you had to guide the moon. There has never been a night when you had to remind the sea how to reach the shore. The world has always continued while people rested. Tonight, it can continue without you carrying it. The lantern turns, the sea breathes, the rain falls. Everything that truly matters is already happening, without effort, without control, without worry. You feel wonderfully warm, wonderfully comfortable, wonderfully still. Not because you have made yourself feel this way, simply because your body remembers what rest has always felt like. There is nowhere else you need to be, nothing else you need to become, no one you need to impress, no expectation waiting for you, only this breath, only this wave, only this quiet light. Perhaps, without even noticing, you have stopped listening to my words. Perhaps you are only listening to the sea. If that has happened, that is perfectly all right. The waves know the rest of the journey. They have always known. Remain here for as long as you need. The lighthouse is in no hurry. Neither is the night. Neither are you. The light continues turning. The sea continues breathing. And quietly, without asking anything more of you, the lighthouse keeps watch while you rest. The lighthouse continues its quiet work, just as it always has. The great lantern turns slowly above you. Its warm light reaches across the sea, then gently returns again, without effort, without interruption. Outside, the waves continue their endless rhythm. The tide rises and falls. The rain has become little more than a soft whisper against the glass. The wind moves gently around the stone walls. Everything continues exactly as it should. You rest comfortably beneath the blanket, warm, supported, completely at ease. There is nowhere left to go, nothing left to understand, nothing left to carry. Only this quiet room, only the sea, only the turning light. A breath arrives, a breath leaves. The sea breathes beside you. The lighthouse breathes around you. The night breathes with you. 3 quiet rhythms moving together, never hurried, never asking anything of you. If another thought quietly appears, allow it to drift across the horizon, like sea mist crossing the moon. There is no need to follow it. The sea already knows how to carry it away. The lighthouse has watched over these waters through countless nights. It has watched storms arrive. It has watched them pass. It has watched calm seas and restless ones, never asking either to become something different, only continuing one quiet turn at a time. Tonight, it quietly keeps watch once more, not because it expects anything from you, simply because that is what it was built to do. Perhaps that is enough. The world will continue turning tonight. The tide will continue rising. The dawn will continue finding its way across the horizon. Everything that belongs to tomorrow will still be waiting when tomorrow comes. But tonight belongs only to rest. The light continues turning. The sea continues breathing. The rain continues falling. Everything that needs to happen is already happening. Nothing depends upon your vigilance now. Nothing asks you to remain awake. Nothing asks you to solve another thought. The night is able to hold itself. And quietly, almost without noticing, you allow it to. There is only this breath, only this wave, only this light. The lighthouse will remain here long after these words have faded. Its light will continue turning. The waves will continue meeting the shore. The rain will continue whispering against the windows. Nothing will be forgotten. Nothing will be left undone. You have carried enough for one day. The lighthouse will carry this night. You can simply rest. The light remains. The sea remains. The night remains. And somewhere beneath one gentle wave and the next, sleep quietly finds you.